I'm usually excited about doing Cleveland Browns content, man. But sometimes I cannot stand doing some of this Browns content during the offseason, man. Offseason come around, people just start just doing stuff, just saying stuff. I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why sometimes I hate doing Cleveland Browns content, and we'll come back and tell you why right here on the Ultimate Browns. Welcome to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's your boy G. Bush right here on the Ultimate Browns. We want to thank everybody for checking out and making the Ultimate Browns a big part of your everyday and watching us over here on the UCSS network, man. Listen, I tell you what, man, I just got a little text message, man. Text from the big homie Steve Becker, the executive producer, and he just reminded me just how close training camp is coming up, right? Monday, July 22nd is when rookies report to camp. The next day, Tuesday, veterans are going to report, right, on the 23rd. And then they're going to be at the Greenbrier from the 24th of July all the way to the 2nd of August. So, training camp is right around the corner. And here on Ultimate Browns, that's going to be where we kickstart our season. Our season starts when training camp starts, and so you guys already know how it goes over here. We are in full season mode. So if you're a football fan and you're an Ultimate Browns fan, you call yourself an Ultimate Browns fan, this is the only place where you're gonna get a deep dive in the minutia of football. We're gonna talk about the sixth tackle, the third tight end, what the playbook looking like, Nick Chubb health updates, Deshaun Watson's arm accuracy. We're gonna be talking about everything over here, man. So every single day, you guys are gonna be wanting to tune in to the Ultimate Browns over here. And you never know who you want to start seeing over there. You're going to start seeing Quincy back on the channel again. You're going to start seeing Tyvis Powell back on the channel. And you know how we give it up. We like to call ourselves the 3 amigos of Browns football, and we break it down better than nobody else can. And you can only find that right here on the Ultimate Browns. Let's get to today's show. One of the 3 reasons that I can't stand doing off-season content, I'm gonna just keep it real with you, it's because the players start to be behind the microphone. Shout out to the player movement. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody's doing content. I got some, I got a little bit of TikTok footage of Michael Parsons, courtesy of the Bleacher Report, and he might is probably one of the top 3 pass rushers and defensive players in the entire world, right? But he is in his own universe when it comes to judging how good teams are in the divisions. I'm glad CJ Stroud got them together. We'll check that out here later in the show. Also, I know Madden's coming out in August. I know college football is coming back out, but listen, I'm going to talk about 3 trades somebody proposed in the Browns media that even Madden wouldn't take. These trades, boy, I tell you, I don't know where you got them from. We don't know where they came from, but these might be one of the worst trades. That's another reason. Made up trades in the offseason. I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But you know where you clicked on the video. Pete Prisco, he's been on UCSS. Shout out to him. He's been on our show before. I just got to say, he probably had the worst list I've ever seen. Just had to come out and say it. Worst list I've seen. And one of our cast members on UCSS had the nerve to put the Superman cape on and try to save this list. You tried to justify this list. And I'm going to give you his initials, A and B. You already know what it is. Take a look at this clip.
We love off-season list bowl. And Pete Prisco, who's been on the show before, released his top 100 players for the upcoming NFL season. Pete Prisco's top 5 players for 2024 include Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett at 2, Trent Williams at 3, Tyreek Hill at 4, TJ Watt at 5, 6 through 10 looks like Josh Allen. Are you going to read the whole 100? Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Micah Parsons, and Nick Bosa. We don't have time to read all 100, so I'll tell you where all the Browns on this list landed. Myles Garrett at 2, and that's it.
Yeah.
Not a single other member of the Cleveland Browns.
Because just saying, should a Brown be in the top 100, number one, it's a silly argument because, first of all, there's a lot of bias for the Browns. It's hard to compare. You don't know who you're comparing to. Keep in mind, you know how many starters there are in the NFL? And that's just saying 22 per team. There's really more than that because there's some guys that the nickel corner or whatever. That's over 700 starters in the NFL. There are over 1,700 players in the NFL. So to be a top 100 player is the best of the best.
Wait, Bull, I'm jumping in real quick.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even look at that. And when we were going back and forth, you and I, before the show on JOK in particular, you said, well, they have to do it more than 1 year. He had 2 rookies in 91 to 100.
I was just saying for me, this is his list. He can do it however he wants.
You were saying if you were making it. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
On the honorable mention list, David Njoku, who, like JOK, has only done it for 1 year, at least at that higher level.
He has Njoku, Bitonio, Cooper, and Ward on the honorable mention list.
Njoku, Bitonio, Amari Cooper, and Ward.
The lowest rated cornerback that he has on this list is Derek Stingley Jr. at 80th.
That's the only problem. Like, I don't know how good. But do we know how good Derek Stingley Jr. is? We're not watching him play.
No, yes, we do. Yes, we do. No, Bull, because you make that statement all the time while we're watching him play.
Because I keep it real. Everybody's full of shit.
No, not everybody is full of shit. I watch a lot of football. A whole lot of football.
I watch more football than anybody. I don't know how good Derek Stingley Jr. is.
I watch a lot of college football as well. I done watched as many places.
You're not studying it like a scout. Like for nobody is.
He's not even studying it like a scout.
He's an idiot too. He don't know either.
I'm not an idiot though.
All right,
I'm not saying he knows.
I'll go one better. He's got Devin Witherspoon at 74th, who was a rookie last year, playing in the slot.
I think Denzel
Ward over Devin Witherspoon.
I'm just not going to definitively say that because I don't know for sure. But I think Denzel Ward. I mean, you guys say whatever you want.
Yeah. This is bad. No. Out of pocket. First and foremost, let's just say this. Listen, come on, I'm just throwing this out there. Y'all can't be filibustering. Bull, listen, you and Jay be filibustering, bro. You gotta let the man Earl speak. And he tried to get his money off. He was going somewhere. I was interested in where he was going with it. But you tap danced on him. You gave him the challenge. You tap danced on his move. I was waiting to see what he was going to do because he had something. I know he had something in his back pocket. See, y'all can't set it up. See, y'all, look, you can't set it up for 30 minutes and then toss it over and tap dance. No, you can't do that. McNuggets, you're the moderator. Get them in pocket. You can't, listen, that's a party foul. You can't take 30 minutes to set it up, fellas. And then when you set it up for 30 minutes, you want the other 15 too to rebuttal? How you rebuttal and he ain't say nothing yet? You rebuttal the non-rebuttal. You got to let Earl cook. Y'all, listen, Earl be on the panel. I be noticing. See, you think I'll be watching the shows. Y'all be noticing. Listen, y'all be rebuttaling a whole lot before that man can get his comments out. I'm just saying. I just throwed it out there. Second of all, how is it that Brown's bias? Where's this Browns bias coming from, bro? I see every single list, and the Browns is at the bottom of every single list, from quarterback to coach play to stadiums to, who has the most Pro Bowlers to who's going to have the best year. They got them ranked last in the AFC North. Where do you talk about this Browns bias? And then you had the nerve, Bull, to actually co-sign the man's list unofficially. Be like, well, they had the honorable mention. Look how many honorable mention. David Njoku, JOK, who, by the way, has only done it 1 year. You see, y'all be funny. Y'all funny. Because you don't be think nobody be catching that. And then McNuggets astutely said, well, Bull, we was talking to before. You said they got to do it 2 years. Pete Prisco got a guy that only was a rookie. How many lists have we done where they've had Caleb Williams over like Deshaun Watson? You're like, hold on. How's Caleb? He hasn't thrown a pass. This is why I don't be liking Browns content in the offseason. Because they gaslight you. What they do is they put out these lists. They be putting out all this extra kind of stuff like this. And then when you pop off and you get upset, they say, oh, why are you so emotional? It's just a list, just my opinion. My opinion, first of all, like, no, everybody don't get an opinion. That's like, sometimes because you just got an opinion don't mean you right. And a lot of times we just be having people say it the loudest and the longest and the strongest and the hardest pause. And then That's just what they do. And then do you right because you said it louder or you cut somebody off? No, that does not make your point. Hey, we ain't doing that in 2024. Before the season even get here, we're not doing that in 2024. Just because you said it the loudest does not mean it's correct. By the way, shout out to the Grinch that stole October. Jason Lloyd astutely pointed out, well, listen, Derek Stingley is on here at 80. I mean, you got Derek Stingley on here like he the next coming Deion Sanders. Where Denzel Ward at? Now, I like Derek Stingley as a player, but under no circumstances do you have Witherspoon or whatever corner that's a rookie ahead of Denzel Ward. And then this is the ultimate party foul, and we see this happening a lot. This reverse psychology is now being struck down too. What? We talk about this all the time. We call this right here projecting. Just because you say, well, we don't watch these guys every single day. How do we know how good he is? You might be just saying you don't watch him every single day. No harm, no foul. That's fine if you don't watch him. Hey, I like your honesty. But just because you're honest and you put that on yourself does not mean you could project that on other people who may be watching him. You said you watch more than everybody. Now, that's unequivocally false. You may watch the Bengals more than now. See, you know what, G. Bush? This is why. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to me there. See, here's the thing. The reality of it is, he has no problem. He probably don't got no problem. T. Higgins is in the top 100. But ain't got no problem that Joe Burrow's in the top 100. Jamar Chase, no problem. Hendrickson, they probably have no problem with that. He got his 4 in there. But the Browns, you did get the Citizenship Award. You got honorable mentions. You got honorable mentions. And by the way, like how you got honorable mentions when you got the best defense in the league and honorable mention when they got the Coach of the Year, Assistant of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. I just thought that we were giving out awards. We kind of we kind of put this thing together by how good you are in your season. And the Browns had a way better season defensively than a lot of teams. But I digress. The reality of the situation is this. Sometimes people, I just put it in perspective. I've watched every single game 4 times, every single play. 4 times I've watched all those games. Actually, to be truthful, I'm kind of creepy and I don't have a regular life. So I go back and watch old games. I was watching like the 89 Browns. I was watching the 86 Browns. I go back and watch all these random different games, right? Just to see if I could pull something out and figure something out. Sometimes people are devoting that time, energy, and effort to watching those things. So therefore, you cannot Marion Jones them and strip their medals. You just have to go by what you're doing. Now, if you're not watching it, okay. I like your honesty, right? I'm sure everybody's getting ready for Cavs Summer League as well. Well, guys, Jason Lloyd, we ready for this is a Cavs blog, G. Bush. This is a Cavs blog. No, actually, it's a Browns blog. So this is half the reason, in all jokes aside, when you get a Pete Prisco article where it does not even have one Cleveland Brown in the mix, and you have rookies over veterans, that should be stricken from the record. And either there's 3 things at work here. Either you're not watching the games, which I'm not going to say that because I believe you're a professional, or you're trolling, or you're just doing a little of both, right? You're doing a little clickbait, you know what I'm saying? So you can be like, yeah, I know the Cleveland Browns are going to say something, right? But yeah, come on. Mainly it's trolling, right? You can't believe that the Browns don't have anybody in the top, one person in the top 100. Like, I don't get it. But then again, this is the reason I can't wait to training camp, which is coming up at the end of July, and we'll be all over on the Ultimate Browns. There's another reason why I can't really stand doing Browns content in the off season. It's especially the month of July and June. It's the wacky proposals, the wacky roster moves. There's 3 trades that we're going to talk to you about here coming up that I don't even think John Madden football would let you get off. Don't understand them, not going to happen. And we just got to highlight another reason why I can't do this no more. It's G. Bush right here on the Ultimate Browns. Well, basketball season is over. You know, we had our money off for March Madness. The NBA Finals have come and gone. NHL Stanley Cup has come and gone. But you still got baseball. You still got Guardians. And baseball is full swing when FanDuel is your place to bet on every single game. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's 150 bonus bucks, win or lose. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunks, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. We back again. Fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. And sometimes, I just don't like what I be doing. Sometimes I just do not like covering the Cleveland Browns during the offseason. And one of the reasons I don't like doing it is I got to hear about all these wacky trades. This clip is courtesy of Sports for CLE. And you tell me, maybe I'm tripping, but none of these trades are popping off, and none of them are realistic.
This from Dog Pound Daily. 3 Browns players who could be traded ahead of training camp. They say Jerome Ford, when Nick Chubb was injured in Week 2 against Pittsburgh Steelers, Ford pushed into the starting role. 12 yards, 8 rushing attempts in Week 1. Number 2 back had 36 yards, 15 attempts. Number 2, they say, Maurice Hurst, defensive tackle, quick to sign veteran players on 1-year deals, prove they have what it takes to succeed in the NFL. So they did take Michael Hall Jr., so that's kind of the rationale there. Number 1, Elijah Moore. Ahead of the 2023 season, sent the 42nd overall pick. They did a pick swap in exchange for Moore in the 74th pick. Moore was taken in the second round at 34 and has not lived up to the potential, is kind of the rationale there. I don't think there's any way they're trading Jerome Ford. I would be surprised if they traded Maurice Hurst or Elijah Moore. I don't think they're trading any of those guys. I just don't.
What? What are we talking about? Like, why would... First and foremost, let's keep it real. Jerome Ford is probably going to be your starting running back Week 1. Even when Nick Chubb was completely 100% and he was Nick Chubb, he was still on a pitch count, 16 to 18 carries. We was arguing back and forth all last season. We derailed whole shows on UCSS because I would argue that they don't give the ball to Nick Chubb enough, right? He's coming off a catastrophic knee surgery, and you're getting rid of Jerome Ford. Now, don't get it twisted. Is Jerome Ford like some sort of like, is he a game changer? No, but he's a very serviceable running back. He's fast, some speed. He's shown the ability to hit some long run plays. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. You drafted him, you developed him. He had 800 some odd yards last year. Jerome Ford is a guy who's going to, if nothing more, eat up some carries. You got to look at Deontay Foreman is just a goal line guy. He's taking the position of Kareem Hunt, short yardage, goal line, a bruiser. He's going to be a change of pace back. Hines is a guy that's going to be a special team guy. He's going to be returning kicks and doing things like that. Third down, you're going to have a lot of guys that are going to be having more of a stable approach. But why would you they're not trading him and give the ball to who every play? That just makes no sense to me. And by the way, they didn't even address the position in the draft. They didn't even draft a young back. So you just knew what it was when you was going to keep Jerome Ford. That was not happening. By the way, Andrew Berry does not make a habit of drafting guys, giving them playing time and then cutting them or trading them. It just doesn't work. Not happening. Let's get to Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, now listen, I'm not the biggest Elijah Moore fan, right? Elijah Moore at the number 1 or number 2 receiver, trying to get off jams, trying to get off the line of scrimmage, being smaller, not having the elite deep speed is a problem. But you ain't got to worry about that. That's why you went and got Jerry Jeudy. You got Amari Cooper. So now you're sliding Elijah Moore down in a contract year where he knows he has to perform at slot. He's not a number 1 or a number 2, but he sure as heck is a serviceable 3. And what do you want? You do understand that we are going to be throwing the ball a lot more. There are going to be more 4 receiver sets. And Cedric Tillman, again, different body type. Cedric Tillman, big guy. He's, we talk about being on the outside. You're going to have guys who you're going to need to fill in the roster at wide receiver. I'd much rather have Elijah Moore than David Bell. I'd much rather have Elijah Moore than Woods. We don't know what Jamari Thrash is. So why are you trading someone when you've already used assets for him? This guy is already in your program, and he's better than what you got unproven young guys behind him. Makes no sense at all. And this one definitely don't make sense. I hate talking about defensive tackles with people. I don't like talking big dudes with nobody. I just don't. Because frankly, people don't know, unless you get a tackle for loss on the defensive side or a holding penalty, people just have no clue if offensive linemen are good or not. Defensive linemen, they don't know. How many sacks did you have? And how? That's what it is. When you take a look and you say Maurice Hurst is an impact defensive lineman. This guy is a huge rotational piece. Before he got hurt, Maurice Hurst was one of the best defensive linemen when it comes to pass rush ability, his pass rush grade, being able to collapse the pocket, and having pass rush ability at the 3 technique. He has more pass rush ability than Tomlinson, has more pass rush ability, in my opinion, than Shelby Harris, who's also a cool one, right? Why would you then say you're getting rid of him after you bring him back because you got Michael Hall Jr.? Michael Hall Jr. is not going to be a guy who's going to be coming in, taking significant snaps his rookie year. If you get him 10 to 12 snaps a game and get him some pass rush downs, we'll take it. We'll take it. He is not a ready to go prospect, especially being undersized defensive tackle. So again, I'll be telling you, the Browns content, boy, the imaginary trades. You got the imaginary list where the Browns is at the bottom of every list, where Caleb Williams, the rookies, is better than everybody the Browns got, and I got to talk about them. This is the reason why I can't wait for training camp to come, and it won't be here soon enough. Let's get to the last thing. In offseason, players got a lot of free time on their hands. Just so happens that Micah Parsons has some, and this dude was just out of pocket. You can really tell that they just be talking sometimes to talk. And C.J. Stroud got him together. When we come back, we'll see what ridiculous statement Micah Parsons made and how he got caught red-handed telling fibs and lies right here on the Ultimate Browns. Well, Adam the Bull was out of pocket. We had to call that out. But one thing that I can say for Adam the Bull is, got a pretty good baseball show. Him and Zach Meisel, really good baseball content over here with the Ultimate Guardians. You can check those guys out right here on the UCSS network. Cavs content. Now, listen, Jason don't like talking about lists. He'd be the Grinch that stole October. But when it comes to basketball and breaking news, he's pretty happy. Look at his face right there. Him and Mikey McNuggets breaking it all down. Coach Atkinson is in here. You definitely got Donovan Mitchell back in the fold. What are they doing next? Tune in to the Ultimate Cavs, and they'll tell you exactly what to be looking for with the Cavaliers. And if you want somebody with the ear to the street, knowing what's going on in the community, knowing what the fans want to hear, and when the fans want to talk about it, it's Earl the Pearl, Ultimate 216. He's here, ready for you, and definitely give him a look and listen as well. But you already know what it is. I got to just say, the big homie himself, D. Bush, Ultimate Browns. Every single day, I got a video up for you ready to go. If you miss one, don't worry. We break them things down in clips. We break down the package down, and we get it out to you every single day. We try to have an Ultimate Browns, and make sure you continue to subscribe to the UCSS network to get all of this great content. G. Bush is back with the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. Micah Parsons, great pass rusher. Probably 1, 2, or 3. You throw him in a bag with T.J. Watt, with Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons. Overall, some of the best defensive players in the league. Can't argue with that. But what you can argue with is his opinion on conferences. Micah Parsons. This clip is a little bit older, I remember talking about this a little bit, but this popped up on my thread in TikTok. Shout out to the Bleacher Report. This is courtesy of them. And this is the full conversation with Michael Parsons trying to tell CJ Stroud and convince him in the whole room that the NFC East is the best league in football. You got to see this.
AFC South, I think we're going up there with AFC North on the best division in football.
Some would argue that's the NFC East.
On paper, last year, we were argued the best division in football.
No, sir.
Everyone was a playoff team.
AFC North was the best division in football.
Washington was argued that...
Washington wasn't nothing, bro. What are you talking about?
I meant the Giants.
The Giants either. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? They lost to the Eagles.
That's 2 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying going into it.
Fam, you don't know what you're talking about.
Going into last year, the NFC
no one
North
in
was
the
argued.
planet, except for Michael Parsons, thought the NFC East was better than the AFC North.
You can't argue that.
I can, bro, unless you're delusional.
Going into last year.
We have better teams than y'all right now.
Going into last year.
You thought Washington was going to be good. There's not a weak team in the AFC North. What are you talking about? Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland.
On paper, Washington was supposed to be a really great team.
Washington is not better than any one of those 4 teams. I guarantee it.
That's why Daniel Jones got the contract. They went to a playoff game.
This cat, Michael Parsons. Shout out to Penn State. I don't know what y'all be teaching over at Penn State. This man was caught red-handed with his hand in the cookie jar. You was caught gaslighting right from the start. Man, right in NFC East, man, they had it, the Giants, saying the Washington Commanders, they was like on paper, they was chosen to be like one of the teams that's going to be a really good team. CJ Stroud called him, no, sir. He called him right at the door. No, sir. Nobody in the world except for Michael Parsons felt that anybody in the Washington Commanders and the NFC East was going to be, he was like, you can't even argue that. Yeah, if you're delusional. This guy, and he's like, I was talking about the Giants. He was like, that was 2 years ago, bro. The Giants, Daniel Jones got that contract. That's why the Giants. This is why I hate doing Browns content. I be hating doing this in the offseason, man, because they be giving these players all this time to talk. They be giving it, shout out to the player empowerment. There's a lot of podcasts out there where people is really talking, doing a good job of promoting their content. One of them, we use some of the clips all the time, is Deshaun Watson. And your boy Quincy Avery. QB Unplugged. They don't be talking all that stuff. Like, come on, bro. I would have had to get on Deshaun Watson if he heard something like that. What you mean? AFC North by far is the best division in all of football. And the fact that he just tried to talk that talk, he just tried to say it long enough and hard enough and fast enough and kept filibustering. Like, no, I don't know. Like, here's the problem. I don't know when everybody got an opinion. I don't know when this came to fruition. When did everybody start getting opinions that we had to respect? I don't know about y'all, but I came up under the you didn't get an opinion type thing. You couldn't like I remember in my house, people, children, or even people had bad opinions. I remember I couldn't even say nothing. They'd be like, "What you say?" Kids couldn't even talk at the table. You'd be like, "Man, listen, what you sitting at the table for? Sitting up with grown folks conversation." We had a certain thing called grown first conversation. You had to be of a certain stature and age to even sit in the conversation for certain things. Sometimes they had x-ray vision. They could even see when you was around the corner trying to eavesdrop. I hear you in there. You better get outside. You be at the top of the stand, at the top of the landing, of the stairs, peeking down there like, what they talking about down there? What they talking about? You better go to bed. Mama, I used to get hit with stuff, bro. I'd just be sitting there and unannounced. I'd be like, "Mom, you got to announce that, man. Unannounced. Listen, you got to be like, listen, hey, you sitting around and you just chilling, watching cartoons, and things get quiet. And all the adults just turn around and look at you like you was listening to them. I was sitting here watching He-Man. That's what I was doing. I wasn't even worried about what y'all was talking about back there. By the time they think eating a hit with a shoe or a disc cloth. Get out of here, listen to grown folks conversation. Get out there with them kids. Everybody did not have an opinion back in the day. Back in the day, Terrence Howard, you couldn't say one times one is 1. You couldn't do that. They didn't believe in that back then. You couldn't just say things like that. You might have got paddled back in the day for saying something blasphemous like that. But now everybody, Michael Parsons, and he got a lot of sacks, and he get to say that the Washington Commanders and the Giants are good teams. All of a sudden, Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback. Come on, man. This is the reason why. Y'all should be out there working out, playing. Y'all should be working out. And every time y'all get on these places, I got to now talk about this as if this is newsworthy conversations. It's not. It's not nothing newsworthy. It's not. That's why I can't wait till the season starts. Speaking of, when the season comes around, we're not playing around with y'all, bro. We right back to it. We back to it, man. After this blog, we deep dive into everything that we got to talk about with this training camp. We got Tyvus coming back. We got Quincy coming back, man. Listen, they call us the three amigos of the Browns football. You know what that is, man. Three amigos get together. We're going to be breaking down the minutia of everything at the highest level. So that's what you need to be looking forward to right here on the Ultimate Browns. And if you're just getting on to the party train, we're going to continue to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, man. So keep that locked. Training camp is coming up on Monday. We start our deep dive. Don't miss it. With that being said, I want to say happy, 4th of July to everybody. I hope your 4th of July was great yesterday. Always remember what it is you celebrate. You celebrate your freedom. You celebrate the ability to say what you want to say, do what you want to do. But always remember, freedoms are great, but it's all about the consequences of certain things. You don't just get to be free to do things. There's things that you got to think about and do. So with that being said, always understand, I might be anywhere. Radio, television, internet, who knows? And you see behind me, I keep the clippers with me, and the shop is always open. So with that being said, if you want to know where I'm at, all you got to do is listen for the Clippers, man. Have a great evening, and go Browns.